Welcome back. I've been put under the pump here, let me assure you. But the question will go to our learned gentleman here on my left. And the question is this. If we are here in the next 12 months, in 12 months' time, and I hope we are, what will be the most significant achievement that's happened in the last 12 months in football, and or what will be the big issue? So we've only got 5 minutes. I'm going to start with you, Wayne, and we'll then move all the way around. So the most significant thing that's happened in the last 12 months, or what do you think the biggest issue will have been?
Well, given that we've settled the Olympic Stadium at Sydney, given that we would have settled Docklands, I think the biggest issue that we would have dealt with will be the renegotiation of the television rights.
Okay, Graham?
2 issues. One will be the method by which we proceed with the sale of Waverley, and the second will be whether we should open the roof at Docklands during a game.
Richard?
Are you serious?
How much is Waverley worth these days? What's it gone up to?
It was 85 a few weeks ago. It's probably closer to 100 million these days, Mark.
I won't be bidding.
Richard?
I think 12 months out, consolidation of the game in its heartland and evidence of genuine growth in the emerging markets, New South Wales and Queensland.
Greg?
The most significant question will be, as a major tenet of Homebush, whether we get to play the first home game there, or the Swans. And I think the most significant thing that would have happened will be that our Victorian team has won the premiership the previous year.
Which team would that be, Greg?
North Melbourne.
Andrew?
I think, Robert, probably the 2 issues will be how the players and the public perceive the Docklands, which will be a year old, and secondly, obviously, from the players' point of view, what happens with TV rights.
David?
That the media will have acknowledged that we do have the greatest game in the year and greatest game in the world, and won't be writing it down, and that we will have done something about the only ugly part of Australian football is jumping on the ball when we're on the ground, and that we'll say that while you're on the ground, you can't take possession of the ball. You can only do it while you're standing on your feet, and we'll remove the only blot, I think, in this magnificent game we have, which we're all a part of.
Okay. Well, you fellas have been pretty quick. We've even got time to go over to this side. So, Patrick, I'm going to ask you the same question. In the last 12 months, or the next 12 months, the biggest issue in football, or the most significant change that's happened?
Well, I think there's 2, and that's development up north. We have to do that. But the one that I'm really interested in, and Graham's central to it, is the development of the Northern Stand at the MCG, and how the AFL and the MCC have been able to work together to make sure that that can be built.
Mike?
2-part thing. I think that there's a real chance that Brisbane could actually establish itself as a power in the national competition for the first time. The other thing is, I'd be interested to ask Richard, if I can quickly, will you lean as heavily as you can on Tony Lockett, given his impact on your football team and your city, to play on again next year?
Well, I think that's the decision to be made by the football people, and I say that quite literally. I think once presidents start interfering in football matters, then clubs go the wrong way. My hope is he will play, but it's not my decision.
Fullbacks say you shouldn't lean on him either.
Caroline?
I think the TV issue will be huge, but I think we'll probably be debating around this time next year whether David Parkin will get a gig at Carlton the following year, because I think your contract's up at the end of next year, David. And I'd be interested to ask you how you hope to be remembered, whether it's 2005 or 2001, when you do bow out of coaching. What do you hope to leave the game?
I've never really thought that I had all that much impact. I think I survived about 700 games this year at some stage, but I don't think I'm going to leave a huge legacy. I hope I've influenced the lives of a hell of a lot of young men in a positive way and in a very balanced way. I think that's what I would like to be remembered as.
And you will be, David. Trevor?
Well, I think hopefully next year we'll know how much it costs to get into Docklands and how many people can get in there. And that my great wish would be that a few coaches start telling the truth to the media, so we can...
That will never happen.
Okay, Rowan?
Oh, I think the first all or non-Victorian grand final, we've been talking about it for a few years, but I think it's a very, very real possibility, perhaps even in 2 months' time. And I think another major issue could be football feedback emerging as a top-rating TV football program, Rob.
Okay, Henry?
I won't go over the points that have already been made. On a personal note, as a Melbourne supporter, what Melbourne's penalty will be for breaching the salary cap. And secondly, have I recovered from Melbourne winning the flag this year?
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, well, I was going to say the Docklands, and also the most significant thing will be Geelong finally breaking the hoodoo, and after 4 attempts in the last decade, actually winning a grand final.
And I hope you stay loyal to Geelong, Anthony. Joyce?
I hope the shirt front goes out, and I hope there's a revival, a real revival of football in the metropolitan and the country areas, because I see other things happening when I'm around and about.
Damien?
Yeah, I'm like George. I hope David gets his wish, and I hope the shirt front is outlawed as we look back. And I'm sorry about this, Greg, but looking back, Brisbane, my friend, has won the premiership.
You've got a few of your boys on your books there, Damien, so a bit of an interest in that. And Michael?
I hate to be negative because Rowan's in the room, but Eddie Maguire steps down as president of Collingwood because they've only won 2 games and Ross Oakley takes over.
OK, well, there you have it from our learned folk there. There's a lot coming up on C7.
Next week, Football Feedback's regular format returns. Stan will be back.
They need to rewrite the rules.
So too Stephen Silvani.
Oh, I just think it's an honour to be able to play for your state and with some great players.
They'll join Rob, Rowan and Patrick as Football Feedback continues to confront the game's most important issues, its most interesting talking points, with the people who are making the news. Join us then for Football Feedback, Monday night, 7:30 p.m, right here on C7.
Welcome back again, and we've only got a little time to go, and I'm going to put you really under some pressure, Patrick. What do you think we've got out of tonight?
Well, I think that we're aware that we've got a football competition that's in pretty good nick, but I think there's a lot of work to be done. I think there's work to be done in Sydney. We've discussed that. Brisbane, TV rights will be a big issue, but one that will aid footy significantly, and that we've got a collective bargaining agreement, hopefully, will be signed on Wednesday that will, for the next 5 years, place us in a very good position with our players.
OK. Well, thanks, Patrick. And I'd like to thank each and every person who's come along tonight. They have football at heart. I think we've got a great product. I think it'll get even better next year. Thanks for being with us. We've enjoyed the show. Hope you have too.